until they saw the woman holding her mother's memorial tablet and attending her father's succession ceremony. Everyone was shocked to discover that the child they had abandoned since childhood was not so simple. In front of everyone, the woman not only opposed her father's succession as the group's chairman, but even demanded he kneel publicly and apologize to her mother. When the father saw her embarrassing him in front of others, he immediately tried to drive her away. Little did he know, the woman had been planning this for 20 years. She had been waiting for this exact moment of revenge. It turned out that the woman was the father's illegitimate daughter, a child he had tricked her mother into giving birth to. When her mother learned he was already married, the father kicked both mother and daughter out of the house. He completely ignored them from then on. Even the father's legal wife came after the mother and daughter, leading a group of people to teach them a lesson, telling them not to have any delusions. From that moment on, the girl's mother fell seriously ill and never recovered. At her final moment, she still worried about her child. She told her daughter to rely only on herself in this life and never depend on any man. After saying this, she passed away completely. And so, after her mother's death, the girl became a complete orphan. She spent the next 20 years growing up in an orphanage. Unexpectedly, one day, her father brought her back home, but as soon as she returned, her younger sister began bullying her. Not only did she make her cook for her personally, she also forbade the servants from helping. Seeing how unreasonable her sister was, she slapped her across the face. Her sister tried to fight back, but couldn't win against her. Just as she was at a loss, the father returned suddenly with his other two children. The sister immediately ran to complain. The older brother tried to stand up for her, but the woman gave him a harsh lesson. Seeing this, the father accused her of being heartless. He was about to scold her, but the eldest daughter stopped him. She told him to get straight to the point. It turned out the father didn't bring her back to enjoy life, but to use her as a pawn in a family marriage alliance. He wanted her to marry a rich young man. This rich man not only had a bad temper, but was also disabled. Only then did the woman realize her family's real intention. She mocked them for having ulterior motives in bringing her back. Her sister saw her as ungrateful and mocked her for not knowing how to enjoy a good life. Unexpectedly, the woman offered to give her the marriage instead, but her father refused. He said the marriage was already arranged, and she had no choice but to marry him. With no choice, the woman agreed. After all, marrying the rich man would make it easier to avenge her mother, so she accepted without hesitation. Soon, the two of them held their wedding. On the wedding night, the two met for the first time. Neither liked the other. They began disliking each other right away. The woman took the opportunity to confess to the rich man, saying she was merely a tool in the family's marriage alliance. She told him there was no need to be hostile toward her. After all, they were both unloved by their families. After hearing this, the rich man immediately thought she wasn't ordinary. He asked her what she truly wanted. So the woman revealed her plan: to use the rich man's power to gain decision-making control of the family company. Then, she would use her own abilities to help him secure the position of family head. Only then did the rich man understand why she agreed to marry him. He was just a stepping stone for her to climb higher, but he admired her ambition. He agreed on the spot. Soon, the woman began the first step of her plan, to acquire the shares held by her stepmother and brother. She had her husband investigate the stepmother's scandals. Then she went alone to the stepmother's private villa. As soon as she entered the room, the stepmother became very displeased. She immediately tried to kick her out, but the woman's indifferent expression only made her angrier. The stepmother stood up and told her to get out immediately. Unexpectedly, she got slapped instead. The woman said she didn't know how to get out and told the stepmother to demonstrate. Seeing how arrogant she was, her brother tried to discipline her, but she threw him to the ground with an over-the-shoulder throw. Then the woman handed them a document. The stepmother turned pale after reading it. Her long-hidden secret had been exposed by the woman. The brother stepped up to take a look. When he learned he wasn't the biological son of their father, he was stunned. The father's only son was actually the child of the stepmother and another man. If the father found out, the mother and son would surely suffer. The brother, panicking, tore the report to shreds, but the woman calmly said that was just a copy. She had printed many more. If he liked tearing them up, she could give him more. Seeing her tough stance, the stepmother asked what she wanted. The woman got straight to the point. She wanted all their family shares. She would manage them herself to overthrow her father's reign and take control of the family corporation. But the mother and son refused to sign the equity transfer agreement. They even planned to detain her and take indecent photos to blackmail her. But before they could act, the woman had already taken down all the security guards. This scene terrified the mother and son. Under her pressure, the stepmother finally signed the transfer agreement. As the woman was about to leave, the stepmother received a call from the hospital. The woman's father had fainted from high blood pressure. Upon hearing the news, the three of them rushed to the hospital. When the sister saw the woman, she looked disgusted and tried to drive her away, but the woman didn't indulge her at all. She slapped her again, and this time, the sister shut up completely. Seeing this, the father began criticizing the woman for having no manners befitting a rich daughter, but the woman didn't care. She said bluntly, she wasn't some rich heiress. She was just an orphan with no parents. These words infuriated the father, who tried to drive her out again. But the woman's real purpose for coming was to make her father attend her mother's 18th death anniversary. To her surprise, the father strongly refused. He said her mother was shameless and didn't deserve his respects, but he had clearly been the one in the wrong back then. Now he was using harsh words just to avoid responsibility. Only at this moment did the woman completely lose faith in her father. Since he was so cold and heartless, she saw no reason to show him any mercy. So the woman decided that at tomorrow's shareholder meeting, she would deliver the final blow to her father.